God wants you to name it, We Doin' Filmographies.
I guess. Well, welcome to We Doin' Filmographies. My name is Julian.
And I'm Jason, and guess what we're doing?
We're doing filmographies.
We're doing filmographies. And you might think we're doing director filmographies.
Right.
That would make more sense.
But you would be wrong.
You would be wrong. We're doing actors' filmographies.
Yeah.
Which I think is super compelling because the quality and the type of movies fluctuate so much, and we've only seen 2 movies so far.
Yes.
But it's exciting.
Yeah. Now, when you say actors, what we're doing is kind of just pulling names out of a hat.
It was literally a hat. It was my work hat. I folded them up on a little piece of printer paper, crumpled them, and picked one.
And the look on your face when you picked that first one.
I felt really bad about it. I thought it was a bad choice.
So once we have our actor, what we do is we hit up the old IMDb and take a look at the first 10 films in their filmography.
Correct.
In some cases, it's a 2-minute roll.
Or 40 seconds.
Or 40 seconds. And in a lot of cases, it's probably going to be a number of movies that we've probably never even seen.
This is true. And I had intended to not do cameo roles.
Mm-hmm.
I figured maybe they wouldn't have names on IMDb. I was looking up Robert Longstreet, and he's like, guy in library in his first movie.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, we would skip that one.
Yeah.
But for the current actor we're doing, no, the second movie especially, I assumed he had a true role in it, and that is incorrect. So we'll do the first 10 movies on their filmographies,
Yep.
1 episode, 1 movie, and then after that, we go back to the hat.
Right.
Maybe we do them again. Maybe we do their next 10. We don't know. The hat decides who comes next.
Well, and based on the movie, there's probably going to be quite a few where you're about an hour in wondering, why am I watching this again?
That happened to me when I was watching the first movie.
Well, so this week, why don't you tell us, well, not this week, but for this series, who our actor is?
Who's our actor? Well, it's one of my very favorites, Billy Crudup, who I've had very strong feelings for since I saw Jesus' Son. He's always been a favorite of mine. I think that movie's fantastic. It's one of the first movies I took myself to when I was supposed to be at school. I went to go see an R-rated movie in the middle of the day, and boy, was it a delight. It was so good.
Well, Billy Crudup, he's one of those actors that I'm always glad when I see him in something. I'm, for the most part, never disappointed with one of his performances.
No, he's fine.
Yeah.
The sea of movie he's in maybe is not so good.
Okay, well, so real quick, William Gaither Crudup, or Billy Crudup as he is more famously known, was born in Manhasset, New York on July 8th, 1968. Crudup attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where he studied the performing arts, where he was also a member of the cast of a UNC STV student soap opera titled General College. After graduating, Crudup studied at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts Graduate Acting Program, where he earned a Master of Fine Arts degree in 1994. He is most notably featured in movies such as Almost Famous, Big Fish, Public Enemy, Mission Impossible 3, and a lousy little movie that is way too long and he's only in for about 10 minutes.
I think we're tipping our hand on this one a little bit.
Yeah. So the first movie on his filmography is 1996. When we first, Sleepers, 1996, star-studded cast.
Amazing.
I mean, it's like who's who of 1996 and who's gonna be who for the next several years.
Yes.
If not decades.
Jason Patrick still kind of on top.
Very much so. I mean, obviously Kevin Bacon.
Yep. The MVP of the fucking movie, him and De Niro.
Yeah, it's an odd Kevin Bacon performance. Maybe not performance, but role.
Yes.
I was not expecting, well, I guess I wasn't expecting much, but what I got was a shock. Brad Pitt.
Yes.
An almost unrecognizable Brad Renfro.
But unrecognizable how? Is it that he's young?
I think one problem is when you do like a Google search, you pretty much get contemporary photos.
Oh, sure.
Right. So
well,
when
he
you go
died
into
not super long after this movie, like maybe 8 years or something.
Is that right?
I mean, he died very young.
Oh, man, I didn't know that. I mean, I thought he was dead, but 2008 is when he died.
All right, so 10 years.
January 15th.
12 years later. All right, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, so I mean, we got a very young Minnie Driver.
Ooh, yes.
In some of her scenes, I found her almost unrecognizable.
Really?
Yeah, just a couple of profiles, shots, or whatnot. I think the frizzy hair was even frizzier than it normally is. She's great though. Dustin Hoffman, a late entry in the picture.
Yes, very sleazy Dustin Hoffman.
It was almost like a graduation of the Rain Man role.
Oh, really?
In some ways, this mercurial sort of, I don't know, bizarre character. But Ron Eldard?
Yes, who I feel like I know him best from Men Behaving Badly,
Oh.
a terrible NBC sitcom
Yeah.
with Rob Schneider. And then they replace him, I think, in a later season. Ron Eldard's no longer in it, and somebody else takes his place, and they make reference to Shep from ER. He had a dream that Shep from ER was his roommate.
Oh, wow.
Little meta joke.
I most recently recognized him from, I think, season 3 or 4 of Justified.
Yeah, I don't remember him from that.
Yeah, he was like a non-vet turned, no good Nick
Oh.
muscle. I think that's what he's from.
Is he like living off in the woods?
He might be.
He's
got
a
like an army
survivalist?
coat on. I forget who he's even working for.
He always looks like he
Boyd,
should have
maybe?
an army coat on.
He does. And he might in this movie. Or is that a leather jacket? I guess I don't know. But, of course, Billy Crudup.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, a good Robert De Niro. This was like back when he was still delivering.
Yes. It was interesting to see him not young, but young. Because
Yeah.
he's been old man De Niro for so long. And it was nice to see him. I mean, it was nice to see everybody with their baby faces.
True.
It was fascinating. Can I give you the ages of the boys in this movie before you give us synopses for the film?
Please do.
Billy Crudup, age 28.
Oh, wow. In the movie? At the time?
His age
Oh, wow.
when he filmed it. Brad Pitt, 33. Ron Eldard?
Eldard.
Yeah, all right. I got a little typo here on my memo pad on my phone. 31. Jason Patrick, 30. Kevin Bacon already 38. De Niro 53.
Wow.
Looking great for 53.
Yeah.
And Minnie Driver 26.
Okay.
Quite young.
Yeah. A couple of those are a little bit older than I guess I thought, but yeah, quite young for a majority of them.
Yes.
Because I mean, this is like what, 10 years after Lost Boys?
Oh, sure. Well, maybe not quite 10.
Somewhere around there.
I feel like Lost Boys might be like 89 or something like that.
That could be.
All right, hit me with the synopses for
87.
Barry Levinson's. I was close.
Pretty damn close.
Barry Levinson's Sleepers.
That's another thing. Barry Levinson. I'm not really that familiar with him, but this kind of shocked me.
I mean, he was a name for quite a while. He had quite a few hits. I mean, he's got a weird 80s, 90s run of hits where they're not
Right.
movies anybody really talks about except for Rain Man.
Different time.
Who the fuck talks about toys or Bugsies? Bugsies. I mean, Bugsy.
Oh,
Diner.
Bugsy? Yeah.
Diner from 82.
Diner
Like,
gets a lot
that's
of
still
heat.
kind of a seminal movie.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, when we first discovered that this would be the movie that we would be starting this podcast off with, I of course went to Google, and the quick synopsis for the film is 4 teenage friends from Hell's Kitchen end up being sent to reform school after almost killing a man. So far, quite apt.
Sounds good.
There they are brutalized by the guards. Again, right on the nose. John,
Were they beating them?
well, they were...
We'll get to it.
John, Ron Eldard, and Tommy, Billy Crudup, grow up to be hitmen who recognize their abuser years later and kill him. Their trial is prosecuted by another member of their gang who is now the assistant DA.
And it's a true story. Wink.
Apparently, so yeah, when I heard like, oh, these guys are hitmen, the prosecutors are like a member of their old gang, I'm thinking there's like a
Gang.
You know what I mean? Like, there's some, I don't know, like pulpy mafioso kind of a thing going on with this movie. I mean, I guess they were hitmen at that point. I mean, they murdered people.
They did. We didn't get to see it, really.
No, and I don't know if they ever clarified if it was like in just the line of duty or if it was like, go kill this man.
No, yeah, I think they go off and kill people
I
for
suppose.
for the boss.
I
Whoever the
suppose.
boss is. Although, the boss is that guy. Well, maybe we'll get to it. But
Yeah, and I guess I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but so the movie starts, and it's fucking Goodfellas-ish, right?
Yes.
It's the 50s, I think.
It's the 50s. It's Hell's Kitchen.
You
It's
know,
it's
some-
hot. Everybody looks good. They're wearing those nice clothes.
Yep, everybody's got their jeans cuffed.
Playing stickball in the street, having a great time.
With an especially foul-mouthed young girl in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. He's
She
like,
had some-
oh, she's pretty cute. And you're like, oh, is this going to go somewhere? No.
Yeah.
No.
I kind of thought that because so we see all these guys as young kids.
Mhm.
They're the 4 kids.
You
right?
spend fucking an hour with them as young kids. So much
Quite-
time with them as young kids.
A surprising amount.
Yes.
So much so that again, you almost forget where is this movie going, you know? And the Minnie Driver character as a child, I thought she was the girl in the wheelchair.
Oh, she got better.
I was like,
Her legs
she lost her
worked?
legs at some point.
Okay.
Okay, and now she's very verbally abusive to that dude because I thought he left her, but that didn't turn out to be the case. She is walking quite ably in the movie.
Yes.
She does a lot of standing around.
Yes, she does.
So we're in the 50s. It's hot. It's the summer. Kids are being kids, and they come up with a scheme.
Yeah, they got some moves. They got some moves for having fun. Although, I mean, they're not necessarily great kids because the one kid ends up like working for the mob.
Right. So
He's
he
like-
becomes
He's
a
the
numbers
Henry Hill.
runner.
Yeah, he's like Henry Hill from
And that's,
Goodfellas. Let me work
um,
for you, old man.
Jason Patrick's character.
I see. I really had a hard time keeping track of who's who as far as the
think-
kids go.
I think that was a Jason Patrick character because he's the narrator, I believe.
Yeah, he is.
He's the main focal point. Once the
He's
movie
Lorenzo
actually-
Carcaterra, the author of the book, The True Story.
Yeah, so he's running numbers, and some guys pull him aside, and they want the numbers, and then an old man comes out of nowhere with a gun, and apparently just murders those
Just
guys.
murders these hooligans. I thought maybe those guys were like dirty cops and
Yeah.
taking the mob's money.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's that guy is like 80 years old that shoots those 2 young toughs.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And then, of course, he ropes in his friends. I need protection. And
Yeah.
whatever. Like 3 other kids are going to stop 2 grown men from robbing you. But okay. So then they come up with a scheme to get some hot dogs.
What a fucking stupid scheme, too. They're working for the mafia. They can't just buy some hot dogs?
Yeah, why don't they have money? It kind of seems like what's the point of...
Yeah, where's the money going? They aren't. I mean, none of them are driving around in expensive cars. It's not like
Right.
sneaker times where people have $300 shoes.
They got a free peep show, so it's like, where's the money going? So they decide we're going to steal some hot dogs. And at first, I mean, it is a relatively sound plan. The one kid goes in, orders a dog, and then he runs off with it. And the basic idea is the vendor is either going to cut his losses and let him get away with it. So he'll at least get a hot dog. Maybe he'll share it,
Yeah,
Or
they split it between 4 of them.
Yeah, they split it.
Maybe the one who steals it gets a little bit more hot dog. Yeah, okay.
The scrawny kid just gets some of the mustard,
Yeah.
So, or he's
How's there going to be mustard? They're stealing. Oh, I guess maybe he
because
fully
he says,
presses
put
it,
the mustard on there.
and then he snags it.
And he snags it. And of course, the vendor gives chase because he is a prideful man who we later find out, is just trying to get money to bring his family from the Dominican Republic.
I never thought that man was just trying to feed his family and all he went through every day to provide for them.
Yeah, so he gives chase. And we get into this weird, like, slow-mo. It's almost like they sped up the film and then slowed it down to normal speed. And it gives it this really bizarre, nauseating sort of effect.
So you can really take it in.
Right.
You can really feel the cart being propped up on the top of a set of stairs going down to the subway.
Yeah, so the guy doesn't stop giving chase.
Nope,
And-
he won't give up.
Apparently, the other kids who are still at the cart are aware of what's going on somehow. And they decide in order to screw this guy over, they're going to move his cart. And then it gets to the point where they team back up, and now all the kids are running with this cart, and the guy's still chasing them. And they think, well, hey, maybe we'll put it at the top of this subway entrance, let it go, and he'll have to grab it, and we can run away.
Perfectly timed. They have to time it perfectly.
It's got to be perfect.
Right.
Got to be perfect. And of course, because of the large propane tank, I believe, is what's fueling the cart.
I mean, I would think that whole thing would be heavy. There's got to
Oh,
be
God,
water in
yeah.
there to make steam for the propane too.
Yes.
The actual hot dogs themselves.
Yeah, the water alone, the fact that it's probably a steel cart.
The propane should be light because it's a gas. It's the water that
Yeah,
should be
'cause,
a
I mean,
problem.
Judging by the size of the tank, it probably would have been maybe 15 pounds.
Okay.
I've handled 33 pounders in my
Oh,
life.
you got some propane
I got
experience.
some
All right.
propane experience. So, of course, they let the cart go. The guy isn't able to stop it. It barrels down the stairs. And although there's some ample time for the guy if he had some wherewithal,
He's busy reading the paper
he was
as
busy.
he walks upstairs.
Yeah.
And I would make fun of that more, but I fall almost all the time looking at my phone trying to walk through my yard.
Sure. So, of course, it collides into this unsuspecting bystander.
And by collide, you mean like it kind of like gets him a little bit and knocks him against a wall, whereas it should be a mushy, gruesome mess.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, it makes contact with him in his chestal area, pushes him up against the wall.
He does a
and then he
slow
falls.
motion fall down.
And then, of course, everybody, oh my God.
These boys are bad boys.
The one lady, she even says, oh, what have you boys done?
Yeah.
You've done it this time.
The neighborhood boys are out of control.
Yeah.
And this is the tipping point that completely ruins their lives. Have we gotten to Billy Crudup yet?
We haven't.
We haven't.
I think we should also mention that throughout this entire 50 or 60-minute portion of the movie, Robert De Niro is a priest.
Yes.
And these kids are altar boys on and off, and they turn to him because, the main kid, his dad is just beating the shit out of his mom.
Yeah, is it Bruno Kirby? Is that the
I
one,
believe
the
so.
bald guy?
Yes.
Bruno Kirby, who I like.
He looks especially bald in this one. He's
Well,
always
yeah.
bald, but I don't know. This one, it's almost...
He's got hair. He was
Does
an all right looking guy.
Yeah, I
not that I
suppose.
should say that because that makes it sound like you're bald or not. But he's
Yeah,
got a
true.
comically bald head.
He does.
Within this one.
Yes.
And considering the subject matter that we're going to go into shortly, the Bruno Kirby role makes me laugh because the only other thing that I like that sticks in my head that he's been in is the creepy coach in the Basketball Diaries who just wants to suck their dicks.
Yeah.
Like he's like
correct.
a real good guy, but hey,
Let's suck your dick.
yeah, come on,
just
guys.
guys.
Hey, Leonardo
Hey.
DiCaprio, you're very pretty.
You want to be a good ball player, eh? I'll play with your balls. So, yes, he's just walloping this woman, essentially. Where's the ketchup? I'm going to beat you, and not to make light of it, but it's almost comical.
I think,
Nefarious he is.
I think it's that 50s wife beating thing. I think everybody was experiencing that at the time.
And I think a majority of the film, he is actually in a wife beater.
Yeah.
So
It's very hot where they are. It's Hell's Kitchen.
Really
It's
drives it
very
home.
hot.
yeah, so they get tried and they're sent to this boys' reform school for about a year. I think one of them gets off.
I think
time.
all of them are within like a year to
Like,
just under 2 years, like a year and 8 months. I think is the
yeah,
longest sentence.
but the one boy, because I think Jason Patrick's child character, he gets a little less time because he was, I don't know, not pushing the cart or something, they said.
Yeah, which one of them even did the cart move? Who was the...
I think it was Brad Pitt.
What?
Was it Brad Pitt's
I
character?
have no idea.
I don't remember. I mean, they're all kind of throwaway.
Keep little chyrons underneath them, so the whole movie with their names on them. And
Or
then
name tags.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was the
nice.
50s.
Hey. That sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Bowling shirts with their names on them.
Yeah. So, of course, they don't want to go. There's a nice scene with Robert De Niro and whoever the young boy is, where he's like, you got to tough up and don't let him see you cry. Don't let him see you cry,
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. And, well, the other thing is the shop owner with the best foreshadowing ever, where he's like, "You're soft boys. You don't want to be getting in all this trouble because you're soft boys." It turns out, are they going to be soft boys, Jules?
Oh, they're going to be soft boys.
They're going to be very soft boys.
Probably the softest.
Because what we soon discover, as soon as they get to the boys' reformatory,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little fuck palace for the guards.
Now, I thought Kevin Bacon's introduction where he's making him strip,
Yes,
I thought that was a pretty good scene.
sure.
It was like still a little vague what his intentions are. Is he just humiliating this guy?
Yeah, seems like a power thing, right?
It does, absolutely. And so you're like, okay, it's going to be tough,
Mm-hmm.
But they, oh boy, they take him down to the storage cages.
Right, where we have, these are where the old beds are. They're just lined up against the walls.
Right.
So you can hear the creaking when they rape them.
Yeah, it's Kevin Bacon and I think only 2 other guards.
I thought,
Or is there 4?
There's
No, there's
4.
4. There
Yeah,
is 4.
there's Jeffrey Donovan, Kevin Bacon.
Jeffrey Donovan, yeah.
Fuck, there's one of the other guys, I don't know if they're all names, but at least there's 2 names. Jeffrey Donovan, I think, has like almost no screen time or no dialogue.
Yeah, he maybe has 1 or 2 lines. And I like that actor.
Jeffrey Donovan?
Yeah.
Those Donovan boys are good. He's the younger one. The older one, I want to say it's Martin Donovan, who was in a ton of Hal Hartley movies. He was in Weeds with it's like the DEA agent that she dates for a little bit.
Oh, that's his brother?
Yeah, it's like his
Oh.
older brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was a big. God, I wish I was certain his name was Martin Donovan because I feel guilty, but I really liked that guy quite a bit for a while there.
Sean and Michael are his brothers.
They're not related?
Well, I mean, if one of them's name is, if the actor that you're thinking of, his name is either Sean or Michael, then...
Oh my God, do they just have the same one? But they look, so Martin Donovan's related to nobody?
I guess I don't know. It looks like Michael Donovan is a nobody, in relation to not being an actor. Neither is Sean Donovan. But I don't even know if I know who Martin Donovan is.
Man.
I saw Weeds. That guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
He did like all of the...
I don't even think he has siblings.
He's not even from this planet.
No, apparently not. I like that guy, though.
Yeah, he's good.
He is very good.
Oh, yeah, he was in Tenet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He says Tenet in Tenet. He's the guy who says, you just need one word, Tenet.
Yeah, backwards, forwards, same thing.
And then he turns to the camera and he says, it's also the name of the movie.
That happens in the movie?
It does. And I don't understand it. But, Christopher Nolan, he's a genius. What are you going to do? So, yes, they savagely beat and rape these children.
Yeah, not just they don't just beat them, they don't just rape them, they beat them and rape them.
Yeah,
quite unmercifully. It's really, I mean, I guess no matter what, it's unmerciful. But I mean, just right. the I don't know. It seems like if you're gonna rape them, maybe you wouldn't beat them so much.
Yeah, it would seem like that.
Wouldn't you like have some sort of a weird fake romantic relationship or something? I don't know. It's all about, I mean, I would say it's all about power, but it really at least seems like Kevin Bacon really wants to fuck those boys.
Yes.
The other people might just be, I don't know. I should not be making up ideas of what I think the child molesters are thinking.
Well, it's very blunt, almost over the top, and quite egregious.
And it happens so much.
Right. And we're led to believe that it happens to, most everybody else there. Dash Mayhook is in there as well. He's the big tough.
Yep.
He was from White Boys.
And isn't he in Ray Donovan?
Probably. He's in everything. I like that guy.
Black Hawk Down.
He's one of those guys who always seems the same age. Or younger when you see him later. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a
magician.
He's a Benjamin Button.
He very much is. So, yeah. And it's so crazy that these guys are just getting like hammered and just going to random rooms and just, sodomizing and belittling. And watching the movie, I'm like, what are these guys' lives? Right.
Oh, the rapists?
Yeah. Like they got wives,
yeah.
Right? They go bowling and shit.
Well, I don't know. Do they have wives back then? I think they're all kind of youngish, right?
Well, I mean, I think their characters are supposed to be probably in their 30s, early 30s.
You think so?
I would think so.
Oh.
I guess I don't know.
I thought they were like...
I guess I don't know what is required in order to be a child correction agent. I don't even know what the fuck they are.
I was thinking they were all like fresh out of high school and college, but I mean, makes sense with Kevin Bacon being 38 when he played that character that he would be in his 30s.
Although I guess they would probably need to be sort of young because they don't look that old when they're supposed to be older.
Yeah,
which
true.
I'm assuming is 10 years later? 15 years later?
We should have written that down.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. We're really letting you down here. We apologize greatly. I think it's like 10 or 12 years later.
Yeah. So there was a great scene before we get out of this phase.
I bet we're going to disagree on whether or not it's a good scene or not.
With Robert De Niro.
Oh.
When he comes to visit the boy.
Sure.
And the kid just is a shell, a ghost of, his former self. And you can tell that Robert De Niro can tell something's going on. And there's even a moment where you can see his mind sort of racing as he's sort of casing the joint, kind of trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
He knows it's bad, but he doesn't want to press it. He just tells the boy, don't cry, don't give them that satisfaction or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, little does he know that it's fucking hell on earth in that place.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really good Robert De Niro scene. He really anchors this movie.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much almost every scene that he's in, you're just like, oh, this is like, it's a good movie for a few minutes. Yeah,
it's back when Robert De Niro could really steal a movie, almost effortlessly, without, making a mockery of himself to some degree. But so it ends. They get out or something.
Yeah, it cuts, and I think they do the voiceover saying, my friends are still there. They're going to be there for longer than me. And then we are now in the very early 80s.
And they did make a pact, though, to never speak of this.
Oh,
once
that's
they're
true.
out of it.
And then if they never meet anyone, they'll marry each other when they turn 30.
Mm-hmm.
Is that part of it?
I don't
No.
think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No, the pact is to take it to the grave.
Take it to the grave. And so we jump now to what would be at the time present day, right? I mean, for the movie.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Right. We're no longer in the 50s.
In the past.
I guess.
I mean, it doesn't
Is it the 70s?
No, I feel like it was like 1981 or something like that.
It feels like, so we're talking like 30 years later?
No.
Because the
God
beginning
damn,
of the
do we
movie
have to look? I almost want to look this up. I don't
Okay.
think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's like 10 years. I feel like it's
feels like the
1981.
50s. It might have been the 60s, right? It may not have been the 50s. Maybe it was the 60s.
Because the 60s weren't really the 60s until the late 60s. Because when you think of the 60s, it's
depending on where
hippies,
you are.
flower power.
Right.
Well, I think I mentioned New York. Well, yeah. Okay, so we're in 1981. Now, keep in mind,
I'm just born.
You're just born.
I'm just born.
I'm coming out a year later.
You are.
And keep in mind, everybody listening, that we have been watching this movie to see Billy Crudup.
And if you're wondering, I think we've been talking now for I don't even know how long. We have yet to mention this actor.
Nope.
The reason that we saw this movie, but the hour mark of this 2.5 hour movie, he makes his appearance.
And let me tell you, I was sitting there thinking, now, who are the four guys in this movie again? Who are the adult versions of this? And I was like, see, it's Jason Patrick, Brad Pitt, Ron Eldard, and fuck, I can't remember who the fourth person is. It's Billy Crudup.
Yeah, and
I forgot.
When they're sitting around the table as kids still making their pact, that's when I was able to piece it together. I said, Ron Eldard's not a tiny person. The kid version of him is a real short kid. But I'm like, I bet that's Ron. And then I was like, oh, that's Brad Renfro. Oh, well, he's Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Brad and Brad.
Sure.
The two Brads. Blonde.
Yes.
And then I'm like, well, this main guy, he must be Jason Patrick, because there's no way he's Billy Crudup's the...
Well, no, I mean, the lead character is also the voiceover of Jason Patrick, right?
Yep.
Right? They got to tie together.
Yeah, and then, of course, Billy Crudup pulls up the rear.
Is he's the weird-looking little kid?
I guess so, yeah.
The one, I thought, when I saw that weird-looking kid, I was like, is that guy that was on Sons of Anarchy for a couple seasons and then had a mental break and killed his landlady? Nope, that's a different guy.
Oh.
This guy, he's in plenty of stuff. I can't remember what his name is.
You know, it's almost deceptive to put the adult actors on the poster for this movie.
Yeah.
Because it really takes a while to get to them. And then when we do, so we get Ron Eldard and we get Billy Crudup. Two guys fresh from a hit, because they're professional hitmen.
Yep.
Going to the local bar to have a celebratory, we just hit a guy drink.
Yep. And what happens while we're there? There's some fucking Republicans. Talking Republican talk.
Because it's the 80s.
Yep.
You know?
And we kindly tell the bartender to shut them up.
Yep.
I'm
Offer
dangerous.
them a drink.
You shut them up or we'll kill them.
Well, he says give them a drink.
Yeah.
They can either drink it and shut the fuck up, or we're going to kill them because we're hitmen.
And they're very cocaine-y.
Quite.
They're very cocaine-y eyes.
Quite.
Their energy. They look skeezy. Billy
They do.
Crudup especially looks sleazy and creepy. Kind of skinny.
Oily.
Yeah.
Greasy.
He's not looking too good.
He looks like a rat.
He's a very good-looking man. Not
Yes.
looking too good in this.
No. He is not the father of the Flash in this movie.
No.
I'll tell you that much. So, the guys are like, yeah, we'll take the drink because we don't want to get fucked up.
Yeah, they definitely have that vibe. Like, oh, okay, thank you for the alcohol.
And then Ron says, I got to go take a pee. And who does he see while he's going to pee?
Great question.
A very disheveled, seemingly quite down on his luck, Kevin Bacon.
Borderline homeless Kevin Bacon.
It seems that way.
Like,
it's hard to tell.
Does he have a drug problem? I feel like he's haunted by his past sins, is what they're telling us.
You know, and he's got like almost like a work coat on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, does he still work at that place? Is he it's hard to say.
Security guard at a museum, maybe?
He definitely looks like shit.
Yeah, he looks terrible.
And Ron stops in his tracks and he says, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
What? Does he say that to him?
Nah, he's like, what, can I help you? And he's like, nah, enjoy your
He's like, not right now.
meatloaf or whatever. Right.
Yeah, like he's like, I'll be seeing you soon.
Goes back and gets our boy Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And they decide, let's have a little fun.
I don't know if they want to have fun necessarily as pay him back for all the misery that they felt.
I mean, there's joy on their faces.
They do look happy. I don't know if
plugging them full of lead.
It's cathartic. The best scene in the movie, as far as I'm concerned.
Now, I was expecting that they would follow him.
Yeah.
Right?
Public execution, not where I thought this was going to go.
Ambush him, even though they're in, a friendly bar.
But there's so many people there.
There's quite a few, at least two.
Yeah. I suppose they come back
No,
to
I'm
it
sorry.
later.
There's two, the two Republicans, the bartender, and the
There's
man
a
and
couple,
the woman
yeah.
who are at a booth adjacent to where there's like a bar area and there's like a dining area.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're right there. And they sit down and they fucking, remember me? Hey, remember me? Are you talking to me, tough guy? And Bacon, he's good in this part.
He's so good. He is very, okay, De Niro's good.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon is really fascinating in this. Like, he's
Yeah.
compelling. Like, you can't take your eyes off of him.
Right.
He's creepy. He's oily. There's a kind of like an unsure evil to him.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's repressed homosexuality for that time period.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of different things going on in his eyes and his mannerisms. He's very interesting.
Well, and it's telling because he basically has like a "oh, you caught me" kind of nature throughout the rest of the scene, where he's like, "Hey, we were
What are
boys.
you gonna do about
I had
this?"
to
Yeah.
teach you how to be men or some shit." Like,
Yeah.
fuck off, right? And so they pull out their guns and they shoot him.
They shoot the fuck out of him.
They do,
And then they go pay for their drinks and leave.
yeah. And then they're arrested, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, this scene in the movie makes you think you're about to watch a really good movie. You've been waiting all this time. Great, we're getting to the adults. We get to see Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Pitt. And then it's fucking terrible from here on out. I hate this movie.
Well, and when we're introduced to Bill and Ron's character as they're walking down the street,
Mhm.
it almost has like that Reservoir Dogs
Sure.
opening
yeah.
walk
Strut,
kind of
yeah.
thing going on, and I'm like, oh shit,
This is going to be great.
they got leather coats on,
All right.
Fuck yeah, and then boom, they're in jail.
Yeah. We're going full mafia. This is great.
And I mean, there were witnesses, but I guess how did they determine who they were to arrest them?
Did the hit? Oh.
Like they were probably like, hey, there were two guys in here, and the cops were like, oh, that sounds like Bill and Ron. Let's go arrest them.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'm sure they're quite well known around the neighborhood.
To some extent, but I mean, enough where you'd think that the bartender wouldn't give them up,
No, I don't think the bartender probably did.
right? I mean, the
imagine-
cops probably themselves don't really give a shit,
Yeah.
right? So they're in jail.
hmm
And this is when we meet, God, I'm blanking on his
Jason
name.
Patrick?
Jason
Brad Pitt?
Patrick.
Okay.
Michael.
The journalist. He's
one
a
of us.
journalist, right?
He is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a journalist. He goes to meet them in jail. I think they call him.
hmm
And they're like, we fucking got him.
Yeah.
One
They are
down.
pumped. That is actually a little bit
You
of a
know,
charming scene. It's
They're
a
ready
little
to
bit weird,
do their
but
time and fucking get out and get the rest of them. And Jason Patrick's like, oh shit, this is fucked up.
good. I got to get my guys out of here.
I got to get them out of
We
here.
got to work on a plan. And guess what? You have now got all of the dialogue that you're going to get out of Ron Eldard and Billy Crudup. I believe that's about it.
Until the very
Until the
end.
very, very end.
Yeah,
But
because we see them.
we see them at the trial. They don't talk.
Quite throughout the trial.
Cleaned
but yes.
up,
Quite a
looking
bit.
a little nicer.
Mm-hmm.
I hear there's lots of drugs in jail, but they don't look like they're coked out of their minds anymore.
Yeah. I think Ron's got a nice little brown suit on.
Yeah.
It's
Crudup's still got the long hair, but it looks washed maybe.
a little bit.
So now we are cracking a plan to get our friends out of jail.
Right now, Jason Patrick wants to devise a plan, but Brad Pitt's already got a plan, right?
Oh, yeah. Like
Like he's got file folders and dossiers.
Does he work for the
and
district
shit.
attorney? Is he the district
He is the
attorney?
district
He's the
attorney.
district attorney. Okay.
Maybe not the lead. Maybe he's just an assistant who does the trials and like the lead, like McCoy from Law and Order.
Sure.
He just kind of sits there and you do that.
Well, it's his job to put these two scumbags away for murdering this upstanding Kevin Bacon.
Right. But his plan is to throw the trial.
Throw it right off a cliff.
He's got dossiers on the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a plan to hire a lawyer and give him all the information so he can win.
And who? Okay, so they got that going on.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry. I completely forgot exactly how this goes down because Jeffrey Donovan gets executed. The other dude gets framed for a murder.
He's executed?
Yeah, he's the one that we skipped over. Is it Caesar? Am I making that up?
I can't remember.
There's the kid that they decide to
Of
throw the
course.
football game in jail.
Of course. We skipped over that guy, Eugene Bird,
Oh.
and he plays Rizzo.
Well, you brought that up real quick. Rizzo.
So they're in jail as kids.
God.
We got to go back.
Yeah.
So they meet this Rizzo kid and they think, hey, this kid is not getting fucked with at all. And he also might be the only black kid in the whole facility.
I think you might be correct. There's at least one black guard.
True. Who seems to be like, hey.
He seems like this is my job and I'm a regular person.
Yeah,
I don't come
rape,
here to rape children. Yes.
But I'm not going to necessarily do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because it's the 60s and I'm black and who's going to believe me? And
I don't think they were big. They didn't really, man, for as uptight as people are about like gay stuff back then, they sure didn't seem to have a problem with like child molesters.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It is very weird.
Oh.
Very weird. So Rizzo, they basically rope Rizzo into this plan. They play the guards in football every Saturday and they get creamed. But Rizzo is some sort of a athlete. And they say, well, hey, you know what? We'll beat the guards and everything will be great.
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea.
Foolproof plan.
Isn't this another movie? Isn't this The Longest Yard?
Basically.
Yeah.
So they take it to the guards, and then it's a pretty grueling game, and they win. And, of course, what happens? The guards beat Rizzo to death.
Yep, sure do.
You know, they put a bullseye right on that kid.
Yep.
He's dead. And they rape and beat the other kids savagely again because, you know, of course.
But then Rizzo feeds back into this revenge plot because his older brother is now like kind of a top tier gangster.
Yeah, he's
and who is it? Is it Bunk from The Wire?
It is Bunk from The Wire. Yeah,
who is in the next movie as well?
Is he?
Am I crazy or is that might be a different guy?
That might be a different guy.
I'm getting a little nervous that I am confusing two black guys from The Wire.
I'll give you a pass.
So who goes to him? It's not Brad Pitt. It must be Jason Patrick. Jason Patrick goes to him?
I believe so. His name is Wendell Pierce, by the way.
Okay.
The actor. Yeah, I believe it's Jason Patrick. He goes to him and he's like, hey, I heard you had a brother. Yeah, he died of pneumonia or something, he says, right?
No.
He's beaten to death. We kind of were responsible for that, but I won't mention that.
Yeah, it's totally their fault. It was a terrible idea to... They attack the guards, too. You know what? It's not Jason Patrick that goes to tell him. It's the old gangster from the neighborhood that goes to talk to the other gangster.
Of course. Whose name... Oh, Vittorio Gassman, and the character's name is King Benny.
King Benny.
Great character.
Oh, yeah, because they do have that backstory about the teeth, getting his teeth broken out in the beginning.
Right.
And then shooting that guy in the legs.
He shoots him in his kneecaps while he's in a bathtub.
And now every time you look at your legs, you'll think of me.
Yeah.
Like
my smile. So, Donovan's done. They kill him.
Donovan's out. The guy who we don't even know his name, who's another one of the rapey guards, he gets framed for murdering people.
Yeah, Jason Patrick approaches a cop. He's like, hey, there's a murder. Here's a gun that's got this guy's fingerprints on it.
This plot, it gets really convoluted. It's like, there's a lot of threads going on.
It's alarmingly shady, considering this guy is apparently just a reporter.
Yeah.
And this DA is willing to just skirt the law because it's his homies. I mean, it's like, okay, whatever. And then at some point we meet Minnie Driver again. She is helping Jason Patrick. She's like, why didn't we ever date? Because she was dating Brad Pitt. And he's like, well, you're dating Brad Pitt. And I think there's a joke like, I dated everybody or something. And then for the third guard, they're going to call him as a character witness.
Oh, yeah, who was it? That was that other guy. That was it Will Patton? There is another guy, yeah.
Yes.
He just goes to jail. Does he go to jail for this?
Is that Terry Kinney?
Terry Kinney. Why am I saying Will Patton?
Ralph Ferguson?
I think so.
Is that the character's name? I think that's him, yeah. So they say, hey, you know what? Because during the trial, so before the trial, Jason Patrick takes Minnie Driver and they go to see Robert De Niro. And he says, Father, I got to tell you.
Oh, boy.
First off, we need a character witness.
We need you to lie.
Right. So you were with these guys.
You were hanging out with these two lowlives.
Right. As
you knew them
want them to do.
Yes.
You're boys. Mm-hmm. Right? You're a priest. I need you to lie.
Listen, they killed a guy. We need you to lie.
Right.
They were with you.
And and then Robert De Niro says, well, why would I do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's got to be a reason.
There sure is.
Jason Patrick says, well, let me spin your yarn.
Oh, my God. It's like, this movie's so fucking long.
The most uncomfortable, just downright silly montage sequence.
It's like a 2-minute sequence.
He's just, and it isn't just like we've been brutalized this whole time. He is literally recapping every scenario. And then it was February the 13th, and they took us down there, and they were doing sock things, and like the dialogue's kind of interspliced, fading in and out with like dramatic music.
Yeah, you can barely hear what they're saying, but stern faces. It's
right,
very
and all of a
serious.
sudden, and then they raped me, and then the music comes back in, and there's out there, and then all of of a sudden, and then they beat me, you know. And we're just locked on a shot of Robert De Niro's face reacting to this.
I hate this movie so much.
And at times he looks downright bored. I don't think they really...
He's been there for hours listening to the prison tales.
It almost feels like they didn't do a good enough job capturing his reactions and just had footage of him in between takes waiting for the setup. And they're just like, well, this is a long enough cut of his face. Let's use this. And Minnie Driver's just like, oh my God, and they're raping you. And so I got to think on this. I'm a priest.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to lie? I said, I need a reason, and he gave me one.
And as they're securing the De Niro lead, they're also taking care of the witnesses, correct?
Right.
I can't remember. Do they spook the couple? Like, what do they do?
So they they rope Dustin Hoffman. Mm-hmm. He's the defense attorney.
The drug addict, alcoholic defense attorney.
Loser.
Yeah.
Right. They say, hey, you're going to do this. Otherwise, we're going to kill you, I think is really what it comes down to.
I think that's the implication.
And here's all the evidence you need and all that shit. So for the witnesses, I think Minnie Driver. Is it Minnie Driver?
What?
Who approaches the witnesses? I don't remember what happens.
Dude, I have no idea.
Basically, they buy him off.
Okay.
I think they sent him on a trip. Although I might be thinking of the John Cena Peacemaker show, because there's a similar thing in there where they offer the witnesses a trip.
Oh, sure.
And it's a couple.
Yeah.
Anyways,
much better.
So they're out of the picture. They don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yes.
Or she's been drinking. She was drinking.
It's Ada Turturro from The Sopranos.
Yes,
also.
And Dustin Hoffman says, well, aren't you a bit of a lush? Didn't you have a cocktail? Didn't you have some wine?
You were drinking all day long before this murder happened 10 feet away?
Well, yeah, but it's like, shut the fuck up.
Don't you have 2 glass eyes?
Well, yeah, but... So the witnesses are bullshit.
Yeah.
At this point. Discredited. And so throughout the trial, when I think one of them takes a stand to... maybe Ron Eldard, I don't remember. Somebody takes a stand, right? To be like, well, this is why we killed them? Because they raped us. Somehow that comes up. Somebody says that they raped them.
Yes.
And the judge is like, expunge that from the record, stenographer.
How is this so fresh in your memory? This is like 2 weeks ago now that we watched this thing.
I know movies, man.
Ugh.
And so they bring to evidence the fact that they were abused.
Yeah.
But the judge is like, that's irrelevant. Or hearsay or some shit.
A lot of this stuff has nothing to do with any... the whole thing is so confused.
But they do that
because
it allows Brad Pitt to introduce a character witness for...
And that's De Niro?
Kevin Bacon. No.
Oh.
That's the
other
third guard.
Yeah.
Who breaks down on the stand. That's how they introduce the raping. Somehow, I don't know. But so the guy breaks down. He's like, yeah, we were raping these boys.
Yeah.
I'm crying now, you know. And the judge is like, bullshit. We can't have this in here. This guy's not... Don't listen to him. These aren't the droids you're looking for, basically. So it really does at this point now boil down to Robert De Niro.
Yes.
They're literally about to call the trial. It's over. Defense is prosecution arrests. Defense. It's over. And he goes, wait a second. Hang on. I got a priest who's going to tell you what's what. I probably should have introduced this at the beginning of the trial since it's such a fucking ironclad witness. But then there wouldn't be climax.
I hate it because it seems like they're doing a heist movie and it's all about to be so clever.
It kind of feels like
everything's going to tie together. You're going to leave this theater amazed.
Like we stole the egg weeks ago.
Yeah.
Danny Ocean
we
style.
We already did it. That's not even Ron Eldard and Billy Crudup right there.
And masks off. Mission Impossible, which Billy Crudup is in. Mission Impossible 3 and 4, I believe.
No.
So basically it all comes down to Robert De Niro. I'm a priest. I never lie. Never a priest? Never.
The boys were with me. We were at a basketball game.
Yep.
Baseball game? Basketball game. Like, well, do you have any proof that they were there?
Did anybody see you buy the tickets? No.
But I got the stubs right here.
I
keep them with me at all times.
They're pristine. It's still just 3 stubs from a game.
Yeah.
Are there fingerprints on these stubs? You know what I mean? Like, it's the 80s, so of course there isn't security footage that they can really rely on.
No.
There's probably no credit cards that nobody's using.
Ooh.
Right? I mean, they might be using credit cards, but
credit cards.
They can go through the paper.
I don't think Robert De Niro's using a credit card.
No. He smokes, but he doesn't use credit cards.
That is good. I do like that he's a smoking priest.
He's smoking the fuck out of them cigarettes. So, of course, boom, trial, they win. I will say there was one scene earlier before this where Brad Pitt and Minnie Driver are on a train and they're exchanging information,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there's this convoluted plan, right, where if Brad
newspapers.
Pitt gets a newspaper on his doorstep that on one of the pages has a name written on it.
I think it's Edmund or something like that.
Edmund, then he knows that they need to do a meet.
Yeah.
Which is like, well, if he doesn't normally get this newspaper, then why does it matter what's written in it?
Yeah.
The newspaper itself. And if he does get the newspaper, does that mean that she has to come and swap them?
Yeah.
A woman just walks up to your door and takes your paper and leaves one.
She's the paper boy for the neighborhood.
I suppose.
That's her career.
So they're on the train and she's like, why didn't you ever tell me you were raped? Why didn't you tell me? And he's like,
I didn't tell you. Are you sure? I thought we talked about it all the time.
And this is one of the creepiest scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's sitting on like one of those side seats that face across the train. And she's in one of the regular seats that faces the front or the back of the train, whatever it is. So they're not looking at each other.
The back-to-back sneaky meetup.
She's facing effectively forward on the train. He's facing across.
If anybody's looking, it's just two people on a train.
Just two people on a train.
Maybe they're talking to themselves.
And he's doing this weird thing where he's like not touching her hair, but he's like fingering the air around her hair. For like
gross. I'm making a grossed out face.
For like a million fucking seconds.
Yeah.
And then she finally turns to face him and he pulls a Batman. He's fucking gone. What is going on here? This guy's a fucking assistant district attorney and he's pulling Christian Bale moves on us.
Nobody would care. Nobody's watching him.
Apparently not.
Nobody would think he would forsake his entire profession.
Right. He's just riding the train.
So
the trial's over. They win.
They get to meet up in a bar.
Yeah.
For one last time. They all get to be together. One night. Not even the bar. The back room of a bar.
Right. And this feels like a scene from a different movie.
Another bad movie? Another scene from another bad movie?
It's like we just got off for committing murder.
Yeah. Let's celebrate. Let's have some drinks.
We've all been horribly abused.
Yep.
Except for Minnie Driver.
Yeah.
And what are they?
Who knows? Who knows what she's been through?
She walks in and she's like, what is this, a gay bar?
Is there a couple guys hugging because they're in a good mood?
It's a gay bar?
It's pretty queer in here.
And then they fucking, razz each other, have a drink, and then the credits roll and they're like, based on a true story.
Well, no,
it was never corroborated.
Yeah, which is total bullshit. This fucking movie did not happen.
It's based on a book.
This is great. I've read the book. This book was a big book.
Was it like an expose or was it like a biography?
No. I mean, it's obviously a fiction book.
Okay.
It was sold. I mean, it says based on a true story in front of it, but it was at all the grocery stores, man. I think I was like 12 and I bought the paperback at the grocery store.
But is the author? Is he saying I'm one of these boys?
Yeah, that's the main character's name.
Jason
is Lorenzo
Patrick
Carcaterra in the movie.
Okay,
and that is the author of the book.
I never heard of this book.
It's supposed to be him. Oh my god, it was a big deal for a very short period of time.
Based on a true story. I'm like, what?
And they're like, nope. He says it's based on a true story. There is no evidence that any of this happened at a reformatory school.
Right.
There is no evidence that this court trial ever took place. And then he says, well, I changed some details.
Oh.
It's true, but I changed some of the names. Oh, okay.
That guy's name wasn't Carl. It was Chris.
I bet somebody could probably figure out whether this is true or not. They did. You're a liar. He's a fucking liar.
Yes.
He's got a handful of other books too.
He's
got
sensationalist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure he wrote it and was like, it's pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll sell more if I say this. And it did. It came out, and I think it was optioned very quickly to be made into a movie.
Yeah.
I think before it even probably came out, considering how quickly the movie got fast-tracked.
And I mean, literally, like, this is like a star-studded cast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was probably a big deal. Probably somebody won an award, maybe?
The movie?
Yeah.
I mean, the
one
movie
of the actors, maybe?
I don't
Brad Pitt, it's a bad Brad Pitt performance. Maybe not performance. Maybe he's doing the best he can.
Do. Like,
yes.
He looks good. It's mid-90s, 12 Monkeys, Brad Pitt.
A year before Fight Club? Was Fight Club? When was that? 97?
I think Fight Club's 99.
99? Yeah, same year as The Matrix. Was that 97? Boy,
I feel like a lot of stuff happened.
Probably
99 is like one of the better
movies.
99 is one of the better years for movies.
It is.
But it's 7 kind of 12 Monkeys looking Brad Pitt in his early 30s.
He's still a hunk.
He's nice. He's really nice looking. It's nice to see young Brad Pitt.
He's trying to shark it.
Yeah.
So I'm an actor, not a hunk.
I was staring at him quite a bit going like, is he that hot? Like, I think he's good looking.
Yeah.
There's something I'm missing that makes everybody else pop with this guy, but
Yeah.
I like him. I want to be friends with this guy.
I think it was the hair. It was kind of spiked, kind of gelled.
Yeah.
Should have just
it's
been a
that
natural,
slightly grown up buzz cut.
It should have been an underwhelming kind of just comb
Yeah.
job. I'm a fucking assistant district attorney. I'm not Batman, you know.
So Billy Crudup, great
Yeah.
performance.
You know, considering this is apparently his first credited role,
Well,
other than
it's his
college soap opera,
Yes, he was in a college soap opera,
which I watched a bit of, and
Did you? I watched about
I'm like,
10
is that
seconds
him?
of it. Did you see? Well, he looks very much like Billy Crudup, but a little bit doughier. It's like
Yeah.
he shook off that. He's not fat.
he hit the weights.
Because, I mean, he's got a very chiseled look,
Mhm.
which I think requires a very specific diet and workout plan. And in college, he's just like, yeah, man, play some sports.
Yeah,
Like,
right, because he did the General Hospital ripoff, whatever it was, and the soap opera.
Yeah, what is it?
College, General College.
I think it's General
I
College.
think it's called.
Something like that, yeah.
And then he goes off to like post-grad.
Yeah,
and
Tish.
then
He goes to Tish.
A couple years
and-
later, he resurfaces as this chiseled, you know.
Sharp jaws.
Yeah,
Cheekbones.
boy, he's one of those actors. In a lot of ways, he's like a Guy Pearce.
Sure.
Although I think Guy Pearce has kind of fallen off a little bit.
I mean, I think he makes...
You know, he shows up. He leads a couple of films, but he really just shows up.
I think he's more of a character actor. I think Guy Pearce makes those choices on purpose. I think he's doing projects that interest him that aren't necessarily huge knock it out of the park. That's not knock it out of the park. Huge box office draws.
Right.
Because he was in Mayor of Easttown recently, which
Oh.
was huge for HBO.
Right.
I mean, he does interesting things.
Well, no, I mean, yeah,
How dare you judge Guy Pearce?
honestly, wait a second. Were they both in a Prometheus movie?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He was
Which
old
one?
man.
And Billy Crudup is the religious...
Not old man.
pilot.
Yeah.
Like he becomes the captain of
Is
the
he
ship.
dating that Nume?
I don't think he's dating anybody in that movie.
None in that movie?
She's got a husband that maybe died. I can't remember which.
Alien
There's Covenant and there's
Covenant.
Prometheus.
Yeah.
Covenant's the second one, right?
Yeah. Oh, then it's then it's probably
Covenant's the one with him in it.
Covenant's. I think got Crudup in it, and the other one's got Guy Pearce in it.
Yeah.
I think because
No,
he's old man.
Oh yeah, he does get killed
Whalen.
off. Oh boy, spoilers at the end of Prometheus.
Oh
the,
God, we ruined it.
the rocket jockey kills him.
Well, no, they are both in Covenant. Although Guy Pearce may have just been flashbacks
Yeah,
because he was supposed to be young in that movie, which is why they put him in the old man makeup.
yeah, and then
Otherwise,
they
they
cut
would have
those
got an old man.
scenes.
Yeah, it's like
So there is no point to
sat
it.
in a chair for 3 hours, but we'll get to that when we get to Guy
We
Pearce.
sure will at some point. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Crudup was really good in the murder scene.
I think he's great.
Yeah,
Him and Ron Eldard are probably the best part of this whole movie.
I would agree, man. I think Jason Patrick really doesn't have a whole lot going on. Brad Pitt's
He's-
not that good.
No.
De Niro's fantastic. Bacon's very, very, very good.
hmm
Driver's good. Like, I like her.
Yeah.
She's actually...
She's snappy. She's real.
This is one of the things I really enjoy about watching the 90s movies is seeing how young and youthful people are, and people like Minnie Driver, who I was not into at the time.
Mhm.
Now as an adult looking back, I'm like, fuck, Minnie Driver's very good looking.
Yeah.
I totally get
Oh,
why
yeah.
she's popular. And I think I just didn't like her because of the pickle scene from Good Will Hunting, where they kiss the pickle.
Oh, sure.
I think that grossed me out, and
I
that
have
was
the
it.
hots for her in Gross Point Blank. Big
Oh,
time.
really? See, I didn't. I
Big
think
time.
it was because of the pickle.
Could be. In Gross Point Blank? Oh, because of the pickle
Because
before
of
that.
Good Will
yeah.
Hunting, yeah.
Well, she's one of those actors or actress that it's like woefully underused,
Sure.
specifically in Sleepers, but in a lot of things. She's kind of just, I mean, that maybe just a endemic of the time where the woman is just, to be fawned over or
Oh, yeah.
can...
Not a
can-
really written character, just kind of there.
Yeah, they're going to, she's going to whip Matt Damon into shape.
Yeah.
She's going to be a saving beacon for Gross Point Blank guy, whatever his name is.
Martin Blank.
Martin Blank. This guy belongs on a podcast about movies. So, I mean, we're running at about an hour here. I think we've gone over this movie quite extensively.
Yes.
We've probably discussed and thought about this movie more than anybody probably ever has.
This is the second time we recorded this. I tried to get this off the ground as a podcast we could do over the phone.
Yeah, remote.
It was very bad.
Yeah. I mean, we were using a phone. We probably could have used something else, but
your signal was dropping out. We were talking over each other a lot. Oh,
true. It was rough.
Yeah, and I think sitting by myself in the kitchen, trying not to make too much noise and talk on the phone for not really good. This is good. I'm looking at Jules right now with my eyes.
Yeah, and we never really talked on the phone all that much at length.
No, that's true.
So we don't have a phone cadence.
We don't have the phone rapport.
You know.
Oh, I did want to touch on this a little bit.
Yeah.
Kid prison movies. I mentioned this the last time. I really, when I was a kid, probably before I became like a teenager, I thought movies where kids went to kid prison were fucking awesome. And I think it's just because of the movie Boys with Sean Penn and that other guy who I can't remember. And they're fighting for their lives against the other boys in the prison.
Boys?
And then it's
Bad Boys?
It is. It's the original Bad Boys. That's what it is. It's not Boys. It's Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
And of course, the most memorable scene in that being when he's going and getting all the cans of pop from the machine.
He's got a sweet tooth.
And loading them up in his pillowcase.
He's going to bed.
And then beats the fuck out of Clancy Brown, I believe.
He's got a problem.
Oh, Clancy Brown from Carnivale.
Clancy Brown, I like him.
Yeah.
I like him.
So, man, I sure did used to like boy prison movies.
Yeah.
I do not like them anymore.
I mean, how many other ones are there?
I don't know. I think there's quite a few. I think there's a lot of reformatory movies.
Okay.
Scum?
Don't know it.
I think I haven't seen it. But
Would you consider American History X a boy prison? I mean, he's in a man prison.
Yeah,
he's
I
kind
wouldn't
of a boy.
consider that
I don't know. Oh, and then Edward Furlong in that other prison movie. I like prison movies.
Yeah.
Animal Factory.
Animal Factory. Yeah, I used to like prison movies also.
Yeah, they're good. Well, so what's not good? Sleepers.
I didn't care for it. I think Barry Levinson sucks. I found the 50s stuff extremely empty. He's done the 50s thing a ton. That's the bulk of a good handful of his movies. I think there's a trilogy within there that includes Liberty Heights. I think he's got a whole trilogy of these 50s movies from different angles. I think they're dull.
Yeah.
I think they look okay. I could see how these things were popular when they came out, but fuck. This movie is long. Is this movie 2.5 hours long?
I would venture to guess.
Because they're kids for at least an hour.
Yeah, and again, if it is, let me see here. It's 2 hours and 27 minutes.
That's so fucking long.
So that gives us like an hour and 15 minutes with the adults, and I feel like they're the least.
You look forward to them being adults for the whole movie.
Yeah,
and it is worse than the kids stuff.
I mean, some of that is probably because they're playing broken characters.
Yeah.
So, they're very internal, subdued, which just does no favors for this movie. I wouldn't want to watch this movie again.
Oh my God, no. I would be so sad if I didn't watch this movie. Why don't we do another podcast where we rewatch Sleepers every week for a year?
Oh, God.
That's what those guys did for Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2 and then Sex and the City 2.
Oh, my God.
The worst idea ever, I think, is what that podcast is called.
Yeah.
I don't even like rewatching movies a second time. This was fine, even though this movie sucked. I was okay with it because I haven't seen it since it came out on video.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh, I thought it was. I'm pretty sure I thought it was great when it came out on video.
I think I was kind of confusing the poster, at least, and the title with Flatliners, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. It's just got like that weird.
Man, Flatliners is a stinker.
It is.
I remembered Flatliners really warmly. And was excited to rewatch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw about 5-10 minutes of it.
Didn't they remake it?
They remade it and nobody likes that one either.
I don't even know.
It's supposed to be awful.
I imagine.
God, Flatliners stuck with me, man. That their hauntings were so good when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
And
star-studded cast.
Oh, a beautiful Kiefer Sutherland. Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Is Lou Diamond Phillips in that, or am I thinking of Young Guns?
Boy. Probably Young Guns.
Okay. He might be in there.
Yeah, boy.
It's a good cast, though.
Well, it is. It's another one of those 90s Who's Who.
Yeah.
And this one actually is from 1990. Without getting too far into it, Kevin Bacon is in there.
KB?
William Baldwin.
Oh.
Oliver Platt.
Wait, is William Baldwin the thick one or the pretty one?
Billy. He's
Billy's the thin one from Sliver, right? Because there's the thick ass one.
That one is Daniel.
Daniel Baldwin.
Yeah, Billy's sort of gaunt. He kind of looks like the poor man's Alec.
Daniel Baldwin made a move on one of the cast members of Road Rules. I believe it was Road Rules, when they were like filming a sequence where they met Daniel Baldwin, and he was flirting with like one of the pretty girls of the cast, and it's like, oh, look at this fucking sleazy sneak.
Was it William Baldwin in that Rough and Winding show you guys watched?
Oh,
Tiger?
yeah.
Meow, whatever.
Yeah, he was great in that.
Yeah, he is great.
Ooh, I like that movie a lot, that TV show a lot.
You do. I couldn't get into it.
That's okay.
Probably because I knew there was possibly rape coming, and I don't sign up for that anymore.
Man, I think it's just that rape them, boys.
I mean, I didn't have any choice.
That's the sequence. Oh man, that's not at all like the horrible rape on this. Okay, so we sat through 2.5 hours for less than 2 minutes of Crudup screen time.
Yeah, 5 to 10 lines. I mean, probably more than that, but it's really minuscule.
He did good.
He's great. Ronald Art, fantastic. If I would have seen a clip of that before watching this movie, I'd have been like real pumped.
Yeah.
And
Oh God,
real disappointed.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning into our podcast.
Yeah, we be doing filmographies.
Is it we doing filmographies
we doing
or
them?
we be doing film? I feel like we be doing filmographies is funnier, but we doing filmographies is concise and still gets the point across.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. Tune in next week for Everybody Says I Love You.
Yeah, another
a Woody Allen joint.
Well, yeah. All right. I've been Jules.
I'm Jason. Goodbye.
Good night.